Well, today I'm in my hometown again, Novochebokсарsk, uh, New Cheboksar. You can see there are some buildings, and here is Volga. Here is Volga River, and you can see that hydroelectric station there, and this small channel for ships to go through the electric station. And let's talk about what should we do. This is a famous question in Russian philosophy, in Russian practical philosophy. What should we do? What do we have to do? What we must do? We have to prepare. The time will come. The time will come someday, and we will have to be ready. I don't know, maybe the Lord will restore the kingdom in Russia, or maybe something else will happen when we will have to act and act um, um, you know, we will have to be very resolved in our actions. We will have to be over prepared. So how do we prepare? How do we prepare for that decisive battle which is ahead and which is coming to us, I don't know, at Mach 10, like 10 times faster than speed of sound. It moves towards us. It's ahead, maybe few months ahead, or maybe some years. But anyway, the kingdom of Antichrist is being built before our eyes at such speed that at such speed that, you know, we don't have much time. We don't have many years ahead, and we have to be ready. So what do we have to prepare? We have to prepare some tools, some instruments with which we will have to act. You see, even a good musician, if he doesn't have his instrument, he cannot play. He cannot play the music. So we will have to possess some instruments, some tools when time comes. Of course, some people, you know, think that the best tool, the best instrument for this time of this kind of times is AK-47, right? Or some rockets. I don't know, some military equipment. But today, I think about the main instrument, the main tool that we have, our mind. This is the most you know, dangerous thing in the world, the most effective tool which can be used for any purposes. So how do we prepare our minds? Well, first and foremost, we have to deliver our minds from the deception, from lies, from the poison with which contemporary system of education poisoned us. Why do people today cannot and sometimes don't even want to resist when they are lowered in their, when they are lowered to the state of animals or inanimate objects like robots. People are assigned some QR codes today. People are stripped of their basic rights. Freedom of speech can be forgotten, it's in the past. Very soon, without accepting some horrible things, some horrible humiliation of human dignity, people will not be able to survive. You know what it will be in the Antichrist kingdom. Yes, they will kill everyone who will not bow down and kneel before the image of the Antichrist. They will require to religiously venerate Antichrist. And why people don't have strength to resist today? Because their minds, their main instrument, is poisoned with lies. Today, the system of education convinces them from the very early childhood that there is no decisive, no determining difference between a human being and an animal. An animal can gradually, develop, from generation to generation, and through the course of time, and animals can become humans. That's what today's science teaches. That's the core of today's science, of today's biology. So no wonder today they, practice completely insane, measures to fight a supposed pandemic. And they do crazy things, they use human tissues in their experiments, tissues of killed babies, aborted. Why? Because they are convinced, their minds are poisoned, they are convinced that there's no difference between a man and an animal. People are animals, basically, and there's no difference, according to today's science, no difference between animals and inanimate objects. There's no difference between a robot and an animal. This is a completely soulless system. There's no soul, in today's science. There's no notion of a soul. What is a soul? Nothing, according to today's science. They don't even know this word, they never use it. And people today have no idea what is a soul. What is it? They kind of sing about it in their songs, but people who are not religious very rarely have any any approximate idea of what the soul is. And that's why they have they don't have any foundation to base their resistance on. What will you resist? You cannot resist what you believe. If you believe that you are basically an animal, a strange animal, developed, gradually developed into self-aware entity, and today's science says we can create artificial intelligence, we can create beings that will be self-aware like humans. We are very close to this. That's their claims. If you believe it, how can you oppose reducing people to the state of robots? How can you oppose reducing people to the state of animals? Animals with marks on them, you see? This is very important to free our minds from these lies. We have to know what a human being is. How is it different from animals and robots? What is a soul? What is it? Why human soul is different from the souls of animals, and why we assign such tremendous dignity to a human soul. Why is man an image of God? And what is it? What is this image of God in man? Well, take a look at hydroelectric station again. The sky is blue, it's summer. You can see that direction is north. So somewhere there, maybe 2,000 kilometers from here, there must be a cold, icy icy ocean, and maybe a North Pole. There must be Kazan, few tens of kilometers there, and there is Cheboksary, up the Volga, maybe 20 kilometers. Yeah, take a look at this. At this natural expression of God's love to Russia, you see, I will never, be tired to remind you that Volga is the gift of God to Russia, one of the greatest expressions, natural expressions of God's love to Russia. This is how great is His love. You see, 3,000 kilometers long. The Volga is more than 3,000, maybe 3,600 kilometers. Well, how is it possible to think that this river is just a random, random pile of material, Oh, sorry, I lost my. Well, let me stop it.